So there's a very easy way of improving your guitar playing, but it's not mentioned anywhere, not in any of the countless lessons that you see on YouTube. And perhaps there is a very good reason for it, and the reason is that it makes no sense at all. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Ministry of Guitar. My name is Utkarsh. I'm coming to you from Singapore. As always, if you like what I'm doing, please do like, subscribe, and share. And if you want to go beyond the world of guitar, there is always my podcast. So, as my videos do, I will begin this with a story which seems like it has nothing to do with guitar, but bear with me. It will relate back to guitar very, very well. Did you know that there is no year zero? If you look at the Gregorian calendar, you have, of course, year 1 BC and then you have the year 1 AD, but you have no year zero. It doesn't seem to make a lot of sense until you realize that the ancient Romans, they did not know the concept of zero. Look at Roman numerals, you'll know what I'm saying. And when the calendar was defined, the Romans defined the calendar, there was simply no zero. Zero is a very interesting concept. Honestly, it's a very, very esoteric concept. In my part of the world, which is where the concept of zero was arrived at and invented, zero is very, very, it is beyond understanding, honestly. And in fact, the ultimate is defined almost as shunya, zero. So it's very, very interesting. This is not going to turn into a philosophy discussion. This is still a guitar video, but I just want to talk about the counterintuitiveness of nothingness, of zero, and how zero can be very powerful. And zero can be very powerful when it comes to guitar. I'm not talking about chugging on the bottom zero string, tuck, 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 tuck. I'm not talking about that. But let me tell you about one of the most counterintuitive ways that you can improve your guitar playing. Now, guitar, especially for people who've been playing guitar for a short period of time, intermediate guitarists, a lot of people who are stuck in a rut, guitar often becomes a question of muscle memory. A lot of things that I play, like if I say, for example, if I play the Hotel California solo, I have no clue what I'm playing, honestly. It's just in my fingers because I've played it so many times live. Same thing for the Sweet Child of Mine intro, right? These are just muscle memories, and your muscle memories are a great thing for you as a guitarist. It's amazing, but they can also lead to your downfall. And the downfall is, especially when you're soloing, what you realize is you end up going back to the same licks. In my particular case, the lick is, I just can't help doing that. Like, I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the Eagles Get Over It. It was a song that I played. I don't know. So everybody has these licks. You also have these licks that you fall back on. And ultimately, that does come and affect your guitar playing. Now, one of the things that can break you out of this, and this is not going to be any gimmick, I'm not selling you anything, I'm just telling you what I have learned over 20 years. One of the things that can get you out of it is nothingness. It's zero. It is literally taking a break. For maybe it could be a couple of days, maybe it could be even longer. Recently, I went to a trip to a remote part of North India, Ladakh, and I didn't play guitar for 10 days. And then when I came back, I knew what was going to happen because it's not the first time that I've not played guitar. When I came back, my soloing was very, very refreshing. I was no longer relying on those stupid licks that I end up relying on, and I was playing something very, very different. So when it comes to soloing, where you want to avoid the tropes that your hands have gotten used to, that your muscle memory has gotten used to, there is nothing more effective than just not playing the guitar for a couple of days. Again, I'm not telling you if you're in the beginning of your journey, if you're just learning to play guitar, please keep playing guitar every day, play it till your fingers bleed, play it till your fingers move like naturally. But if you are somewhere in the middle and you're stuck in a rut, sometimes just try zero, just try doing nothing, and it really, really works. Beyond the use in refreshing your solo playing, there's another use of zero, of nothingness when it comes to guitar. It is literally technique. So often, if there's a technique that you're struggling with and you're just kind of playing it half time, something like that, or maybe I'm playing familiar parts unamplified, but you may know this from certain metal songs. Sometimes what you need to do is put in the time, keep playing. And I've done this often when it's come to preparing songs for gigs, and there's sometimes solos, there's a certain lick in a solo or a certain part or a certain intro. The master puppets, the outro, that you simply, you have to keep at it. It's kind of beyond your technique. You keep at it, but somehow you don't get the flow. You may play the notes right, but you don't get the flow. And sometimes to get that flow, after you've put in the time and the work on the technique, is just don't play it for a day. I liken this to a technique that I used often, reasonably successfully with my academics. I come from India. I come from Indian middle class. Anybody with a similar background to me knows what a rat race and how crazy it is. So one of the things that I learned is sometimes you can be over-prepared. So assuming you've studied for your exam or your test or whatever, and particularly for some of the very big exams in my life, the exams without which I would not be sitting here with all of this, I would probably be in a different level of a financial situation. So what I learned is that on the last day of the exam, sometimes you just don't study, or maybe not the last day, but maybe the last few hours. Because a lot of people are often revising their exams, they're looking at their notes till they get into the exam. And I was always the person, I put in all the work in the days before, especially the day before, the day or the night before. On the morning of the exam, I'm not looking at my notes. I have just imbibed it, and I'm just going to let it flow from inside of me. So when it comes to difficult techniques, I have found that doing nothing after putting in the work, just giving it a break, allows you to get that flow often that is so important for music. All right, so I hope this was helpful. Try it out. Again, I am not endorsing that you stop playing guitar. Not playing guitar is not the way to get better at guitar. But sometimes, just sometimes, you need to try out a little bit of zero, a little bit of nothingness, give it a little bit of a break, and it may just really, really help. Guys, from the editing desk, I'm going to end this with a couple of guitar pieces that I composed after a long break. And maybe you can tell that these are quite original compared to the usual blues, rock, metal stuff that even I kind of fall into the trope of. All right. And of course, keep following me on Instagram if you want a little bit more of the music. I use Instagram like a little bit of a dump for all the music that I keep coming up with. All right.